In nature, we always hear about competition, right? Survival of the fittest. But what if for some animals, the real danger isn't about fighting a rival, but about finding a friend? Today, we're going to dig into a really weird biological rule called the Allee effect and how it can turn rarity into a total death sentence.
Yeah, we all get that survival of the fittest idea. It makes you think of lions battling it out on the savannah. But honestly, that's only half the picture. What if, for certain species, the real fight for survival isn't against some competitor, but against simple loneliness?
Okay, so to really get our heads around this paradox, we have to start with a pretty fundamental idea in biology. We're going to look at why, for some creatures, having more neighbors isn't a problem at all. In fact, it's the secret to staying alive.
And that brings us to the Allee effect. It's a simple but kind of mind-blowing concept. For certain species, your ability to survive and have babies, your fitness, actually goes up as the population gets bigger. It's the complete opposite of how we usually think about competition in the wild.
Right, we're so used to the idea of too many cooks in the kitchen. More animals means less food to go around, but the Allee effect flips that script entirely. It's more like the more the merrier. It's all about cooperation, proving that sometimes there really is strength in numbers.
So you might be wondering, why is being in a small group so bad? Well, it starts with the obvious. If there aren't many of you, it can be really hard just to find a mate. But it goes so much deeper than that. For social animals, your group defense against predators just falls apart. If you're pack hunters, you can't take down big prey anymore. And for some species, you literally need a whole crew to help raise the young. When the group shrinks, all those amazing cooperative benefits just disappear.
To really see this in action, let's zoom in on an incredible animal that basically lives and breathes this principle every single day: the African wild dog.
So here's a cool term for you: obligate cooperative breeders. It sounds complicated, but obligate just means they have to cooperate. There's no other option. A single pair of wild dogs just can't raise their pups alone. The entire pack, aunts, uncles, older siblings, they all pitch in to help the main pair. For them, survival is, quite literally, a team sport.
And the results are just crystal clear. Studies show this direct link between how many adults are in a pack and whether their pups make it. Look at small packs with fewer than 5 adults. The chance of successfully raising a litter is incredibly low. But get into those large packs of a dozen or more with plenty of helpers to hunt and protect the den, and boom, pup survival just skyrockets.
And this right here is the wild dog's secret. See, while any one small pack is really vulnerable, the species as a whole is protected. Across the landscape, you've got packs of all different sizes. Small packs might fail, sure, but the larger ones are thriving and creating new little groups. This whole dynamic social structure is like a natural safety net against extinction.
So far, everything we've talked about is just nature doing its thing, but the story takes a sharp and pretty dark turn, because things get a lot more dangerous when humans walk into the picture.
We've seen how nature itself can put small populations in a tough spot. But what happens when a species becomes rare, not because of its biology, but because we decide it's valuable? This brings us to a really modern twist on the idea: the anthropogenic Allee effect. Now, anthropogenic is just a fancy science word for caused by humans. This isn't about biology anymore. This is about our psychology and our economics, our powerful and kind of weird tendency to want things more just because they're hard to get. And this creates a terrifying feedback loop that scientists call an extinction vortex. It works just like this. A species starts to get rare. Because it's rare, its price as a luxury good, a trophy, or an exotic pet just goes through the roof. This intense demand leads to more hunting, which makes it even rarer, which makes it even more valuable. You can see where this is going. It's a vicious cycle. And this isn't just one thing either. It's fueled by a whole bunch of human desires. The demand for luxury foods like a rare fish, the prestige of owning an exotic pet that no one else has, or the status that comes from hunting the rarest animals.
But here's the part that is truly shocking. The very act of trying to protect a species by declaring it endangered can actually backfire, big time. For certain collectors and poachers, that official label is basically an advertisement. It's proof that it's rare, which can instantly make the black market price explode and create an even bigger incentive to go after it.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. Let's think about what this means for conservation, and for how we even think about value in the natural world.
This table really puts it side by side, and the difference is just stark. The natural Allee effect is driven by biology. A small group just can't function properly. The anthropogenic Allee effect, though, that's driven by us, by our psychology and our markets. The core problem isn't a shortage of mates, it's the giant price tag we put on being rare.
All right, let's recap the big takeaways. First, the natural Allee effect shows us there's safety in numbers. Second, social animals like wild dogs have evolved these amazing ways to deal with that risk. Third, our human way of thinking creates a dangerous new trap, the anthropogenic Allee effect. And this leads to the most chilling point of all. This cycle creates an extinction vortex, where being rare is the very thing that could make a species vanish forever.
So it leaves us with a pretty critical question. We are taught our whole lives that rare things, diamonds, collectibles, vintage sneakers, are more valuable. But in the natural world, that same logic can be a death sentence. Knowing that, does it change what you see as truly precious?